Just like can't then that just be like the animal draft or just dog draft?
Because it's a meme tournament, you know. You got to have
Yeah.
names. Like right
Yeah,
now,
but team dog.
someone's gonna be going pigeon language because I rarely ever say naughty words.
Hmm.
I'm a very clean streamer. Okay, so is it me or does this look like a mid invoker?
I mean, right now it could definitely be a mid invoker. I mean, I'm just
It's either that or a mid Rubik.
yeah. No, I mean this is definitely looking like a mid invoker here, unless it's a carry invoker, which is kind of unlikely. I mean, the thing that I'm scared now for Empire is just if Mudgolems had like let's say a Broodmother player on their team and they decided to pick Broodmother here, uh, things could get a little bit messy.
I mean, what are the chances they have one of those? It's the same as having like a
Yeah, what are
Visage
the
spammer, right?
chances?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm curious here if it's gonna be a 33 just Visage here, or if it's gonna be if Borania also plays it, he might.
I think I've seen him play it once or twice before. I haven't like, seen him spam it like crazy though.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking here what golems are doing. I think this invoker pick kind of just threw me off completely. I'm also not sure what their last pick is gonna be. It's gonna be a carry hero to go up against what I'm assuming is gonna be like a Lina +1 lane.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're looking at something like along the lines of Spectre, right? Because when you look at these heroes they've drafted around it, they're clearly targeting this big, strong, powerful like late game carry. Because you got the Beastmaster. I'm expecting this Invoker to probably be a Quas Wex with that kind of supportive
Hmm.
build, right? With Alacrity plus like Solar Crest.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be. Potentially there's something like a PL, something that the hero is not picked very common like often nowadays, but right now it's looking like a pretty easy PL game. So if there's no more kind of AoE coming out of Mud Golems, then yeah, potentially.
Hmm. Let's see where we go on the ban. Like Team Empire, I think there's
I
so
think the
many
Drow
available to
Ranger
Mud
would have been
Golems right
good.
now.
Come again?
Like my golems, I think they're quite flexible in what they can pick right now, right? Like they're
Yeah,
not really locked in. They've got most things covered already.
yeah. I think they just need to kind of cover like a little bit potentially these like illusion heroes, like some. I feel like Empire are gonna pick something like like Naga PLTB, something along those lines. Unless Mud Golems kind of cover that with their last pick here, which I'm assuming they will to some extent at least.
I think what's really available to them that works well here.
It just depends if this
Underlord,
is
or did that get banned? No, Underlord hasn't been
Underlord
banned.
is in the pool. Yeah, potentially. Underlord is something we could see. It's definitely not the worst.
Okay, they just go for the
It's
Earth
gonna be
Spirit. So Core, Visage, and Lena, I believe.
yeah, I'm curious. I mean, I think this is just gonna be a position 3 Visage, right? And a position
Yeah.
4 Earth Spirit, so just a mid Lina. Yeah, Bornea plays a lot of mid Lina. Yeah, I'm still thinking like something along those lines with the Illusion Hero now, definitely.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
the
I
issue for
think
Empire, I feel like, is that they really need this Beastmaster lane to do okay. Because if it
that
doesn't,
didn't work out last time.
no, it did not. So I mean, and they are picking the same lane again, right? So they do. I mean, they also know, or they should understand that this lane should not go this poorly. I think. Um,
Makes you wonder how it like comes to that. Maybe it's just you could kind of explain it and go, "Oh yeah, Void just got lucky with his bashes." But that's like a crap excuse you can make for yourself. Like you got to kind of assess the Snapfire impact on this lane and what it
yeah,
unlocked, I guess.
probably. Yeah. So it is going
Okay,
to be
there's
the
the PO.
PL. Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of like an obvious way of playing the game, right? It's just they don't have a lot of ways of dealing with this illusion that early on. However, I think it is a little bit like Golem's draft is deceivingly strong. I think actually against PL, like the PL needs to get to probably like mental diffusal before he's actually really strong here, and it's gonna take quite a lot of time. So Void might even go in for the Battle Fury build. He did queue up Battle Fury even last game. Obviously, we didn't get that far, but he had the Mask of Madness and was queuing up the Battle Fury. So
He had goals
expecting
in
him to go
mind.
something similar, yeah.
He was just
But
robbed of them by Team Empire's 11-minute goddamn GG. But this draft, Correct if I'm wrong, Pajkatt. This looks like the type of draft you don't tap out 11 minutes with.
No, I mean Empire need the game to go kind of late here. I think if they get to survive these lanes, I think then they could be able to play here. But just, I mean, if you look at the last game, kind of how it went, and also the fact that this lane is the same, the Beastmaster Rubik against Void Snapfire. I mean, if this lane goes the same way, I'm expecting this to be a very quick game as well.
Yeah, to be honest, there wasn't much of last game to look at. Very one-sided. I guess the other thing also, you mentioned like PL needs to get to that Manta Diffusal. Is it me or is he likely to stop for a hooded stop off for a Hooded Defiance as well? Because I look at the heroes and mudgolems, and if there's ever a game that you're going to see your carry pick up that casual Hooded Defiance, it feels like this game.
Yeah, I feel like if he does that though, I feel like his impact is just going to be so limited. If he has to buy a hood too, then I think it's going to be too expensive. I feel like you need to go for aggression here. My concern for Empire in this game is just that they have this Shadow Demon as position 5. I feel like this hero is going to be quite useless in the safe lane. He can maybe try to harass the Visage a little bit, but I feel like he's not going to have tremendous amount of impact in this lane.
Also, Visage is a pretty good hero against the Shadow Demon in that lane, right? Like later on, we can talk about how good the break is against Visage, but in terms of whoever you save with a disruption, like the birds are going to be waiting. That's set up for easy stuns.
Yeah, and you're also setting up Lina for easy stuns.
Yep, and the Earth Spirit for easy stuns, and then there's the Snap.
Also curious how this Invoker versus Lina matchup will go. I think it should be slightly Lina favored at least, because you're just going to be pushing the lane, and with this Fiery Soul, it's kind of easy to trade, right? It's difficult for the Invoker.
I think you can maybe mess with Baranya a little bit because at level 1 you're like slow attack speed, so maybe Cold Snap will give Lightless the edge at like level 1, 2. But I think after that, Lina tends to get a bit better because also you're going to be a Core Swex Invoker.
Yeah, this Hawk might scout out kind of like what the Lina is doing there, so they might at least find this ward.
I think they maybe just clipped her. It's very close to her moving in the trees in time. I don't think they've pinged anything so far. So
no, they might not have spotted it.
Whoopsie doopsie. I'm wondering what the kind of reconfiguration in Empire's mind is going to be about this bot lane, though. Like, it's very surprising when the start goes that bad that you just commit to the same thing again. Exactly.
No, definitely. Interesting here that the Eknard actually went for disruption level 1.
I guess they want the rune, and the logic is, you know, we're stronger if we just, like, they only have the roll in Earth Spirit, and most Earth Spirits try and take Boulder Smash, right? To secure the range creep. Yeah, which he does. And now all of a sudden, because there's 2 heroes, the disruption is completely worthless. Uh-oh. I think it's one of those days for Eknard so far.
It does seem like that. Definitely does. Because now I'm not really sure what he's going to be doing in this lane with his disruption.
You ever kind of realize how small and short a lot of the trees are in Doha?
Can't say that I've really marveled on it too much. I mean, in comparison to how large the heroes are, then yeah. Sure.
It's like, look at
but
Shadow
maybe
Demon
the heroes,
in these trees.
I mean, they're heroes, right?
That's true.
They're not just like normal people, right? These are
not
heroes.
Only that.
These are.
But also, you know what your mum and your grandma and everyone, your dad and everyone else says, right? Eat your greens to become big and strong.
Now we see why he scaled the disruption here.
Okay. He still gets the range creep going through, but you know, I figured it out. It's because they use all these tangos game in, game out, Pajkatt. Obviously, they're growing up to be big and strong.
Ah, yes, of course.
That's why, like, everyone in this world is like 4 feet taller than your average human being.
So now at least we see Eknard is now he's getting something done here.
Yeah, he was too big brain for us to handle. And how's the bot looking? Like, ooh, if he gets a bash, okay. I think the moment they get level 2 on Fado, they're gonna try and kill Shatchlo again.
Yeah, I think this Scatterblast spell is quite strong. It seems, just for dealing with the Beastmaster, just dealing with melee heroes in general.
It's also that weird thing, like when you kind of sit here and reflect on the lane, as we're gonna see them just go forward on Seiyu and get the kill. If they get 1 bash, can they? Nope. It's gonna got slowed by the board. Movement forward, 1 more tap, forces the salve at least. That is not the RNG skit was getting last game.
No, and now it's also this. He's quite the predicament for this Rubik here. He's gonna have to kind of stay back and sacrifice the Beastmaster's farm so that he can gain some region back.
There's a lot
So
of
maybe
reach here
that.
as well, right? Because they can do the time walk into a cookie following onto you, so they could easily catch Sayu if he's anywhere near the two heroes.
Yeah, we also see in the mid lane here, Lina is controlling the lane quite well, just harassing with the Dragon Slave there.
So far, 7 denies. That's kind of concerning because when you look at the damage difference, it's not that noteworthy. It's like 3 damage in it.
Yeah, I mean it's just the attack speed. You can see that the Borneo he's trying to keep this 3 stacks up almost at all times. And now he's gonna let it go, but a lot of the time he's keeping up with this. A lot of stacks from the Fiery Soul, and so when you have that attack speed advantage, it becomes kind of easy to last it.
Oh,
Bottom lane on the Rubik
Sayu's
once
in
more.
trouble. There it is again. I mean,
And there's the
Beastmaster got
bash.
the free, but they don't care. They double bash. And now Stachlo, he needs to be careful. He might go down as well. If they get one bash, that could be good enough. They got the time walk to get closer again. They kill the Courier. And the RNG is once again failing Skidder. They'll murder his balls instead.
I mean, I don't know if you get to say that the RNG there, that was a double bash. I don't know if you get to say that the RNG is failing him. But once again, it is looking like this bottom lane is going to be quite disastrous for, I was going to say Gambit, but it's
They're getting
Empire.
you again.
Just because I'm
No,
looking at
they're just
Sheklo,
being beaten
so.
by crazy. What can I say? So I think the thing about this lane as well, like we didn't get a chance to go over it because there was, a little brawling going on, is when you compare these two lanes, like we always talk about the Beastmaster being formidable at 3. But when you talk about the Snapfire and the Faceless Void, their kill potential is completely unlocked at level 2.
Yeah. Just looking at this mid here. Some engagement on his Invoker.
Lightless is dead.
He had the Fairy Fire there. I mean, maybe he just knew he was going to die to the First Spirit anyway, so he decides to not go for it. But
It's pretty defeatist.
I mean,
Ignat doesn't have the
Ignat
poison,
here?
so he can't kill Branyo.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really not enjoying watching this.
We didn't TP there this time.
No,
If he
he ran
did-
there, and then he disrupted the Lina, and then he walked away. And yeah, I'm just not really sure what his plan is overall. I feel like kind of a questionable performance in both game 1 and 2 by Ignat so far from what I've seen. One upside this game is that the PL, at least, just in his 1v1 versus the Visage, he's just kind of free farming. So he is pretty happy here. It's kind of easy to just dodge these soul assumptions. And just, yeah, you can't damage the PL that much as Visage at this point. So maybe once the Visage gets his birds, then we're going to see it change a little bit.
Oh, Fada. He doesn't have the mana to turn around and slow them here, but he can slowly walk up and claim his prize because that is the most mediocre tornado I've ever seen. They'll get him in the end, though. He's not able to reach the rune. And a much needed kill for the Invoker. Actually, Shashto got it.
Yeah, some nice body blocks there, at least by Sayu. And Borneo now with a full level advantage over the Invoker here, as well as, I think, quite a bit of net worth, 700 gold net worth advantage. And he's gonna now make a rotation up to the top lane.
Rolls off the mark, though. They could easily clean up Ignat, but he decides against it. He's going to back away. I think he just got glimpsed by that ward as well.
Yeah, the thing now is, though, is that, I mean, yeah, Shaklo did get that kill earlier, but the problem is he's struggling in terms of levels, right? Now Faceless Void already is 5 with his treads. And Shaklo hasn't even gotten to 5 yet. He's not that close to the book. So he's in quite a bit of trouble.
Yeah, and we've seen this before. Like, this bot lane is more or less a rinse repeat of last game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as bad, I would say, as the last time, but it's definitely not looking very good.
No, they've adjusted a little bit, but you can still see the flow of the lane is just favoring Void more and more as it goes on. Especially with that Oov now available, they're able to easily run people down. 33, still got a way to go until 6, and Smiling Knight will beat him there, so that's when the illusion spam can just start to get a little bit frustrating on that lane. You know, ripping away at the passive of the Visage.
Yeah, the one upside they have still is the Phantom Lancer, who is the top farmer in the game, at least. Not top net worth, but in terms of CS.
At least he's having a good lane. Don't know if I'd say anyone else on Empire is enjoying this game so far. But that's the way PL
No.
drafts work. If you get late enough, they'll do it all for you.
Yeah, the issue is, like, how does he actually get there if they're struggling this much at this point? I think as any carry hero, you never really want your team to be doing poorly. It just doesn't let you do your job, right? A carry's job in general is to just hit creeps, and so if your team is just struggling everywhere else, then you're not able to hit any creeps. And yeah, you can't really do carry things.
Yeah, and it's not like you can just go, oh, well, I won the CS on the lane. This went well. Like, you're against a hero that needs a lot less gold to have a big impact. Like, Visage is going to be this early pressure type hero. Once he gets his hands on, like, drums or helmet dom, your buildings are going to begin to melt.
Yeah, and that's why it is concerning that, like, even though the Visage is not super free farming or anything, he's still just getting what he wants from this lane, and the Beast is not really. He did get to 6 now, so it's at least something. But I think they're gonna have to make some sort of rotation down to this lane in order to scare this Void. I mean, the Void with the treads and the Snapfire behind him, he doesn't really feel that worried about this Beast, even though he's gonna be 6 now with Book. I'm not sure what he's waiting for, Saklo, but he has the gold for the Book 1.
Like, look, well, rotation to the bot lane. They're trying to bring down the Faceless Void. Promo everything thrown at him, and it's enough. Lightless did start to rotate top, and that did bait mudgolems. They lulled themselves into a false sense of security. It works out.
Yeah, I mean, finally, this is what you want to see happening here. Like, this is the perfect kind of rotation by the Invoker there. Getting down to that bottom lane. I think Shaklo wishes he had this Book already, because he could have applied a bit of pressure. But it's gonna fly out to him now. The Faceless Void is gonna come back to the bottom lane, though.
Oh, hello. Branya. A lot of trouble in the mid lane. It's hit by this whole catch. Disruption to slow him down. With both supports here, they should be able to kill off the Lina.
Yeah, Empire making some nice, very nice rotations here. With kind of playing around this Invoker a little bit, and Invoker also just helping out his team.
Yeah, he has, of course,
So-
sacrificed his own net worth by making these sort of early rotations, but now he can start to catch up a bit. Most of that came from the CS at the start of the lane.
Yeah, it's totally fine that he's sacrificing a little bit of net worth to just kind of keep his team in the game. Is essentially what he's doing here. And there's gonna be another rotation, a smoke down to this bottom lane to the Beastmaster. He's gonna have his roar in 15 seconds. The Necro Books are up and running.
Farda doesn't have 6 yet either. So there's no kind of counterplay if they get the jump first, really, so they need to back up.
Yeah, the spider senses seem to be tingling though. From Skeeter here.
Well, nobody's showing in the mid lane, so it seems a little bit suspect right now. Milan did sneak in and get one of the runes. And they have Farda. They do find him. Trying to get rid of him. He's able to cookie away, though. Stuns up the army, so they can't burn him down as quickly. The Chrono's going to be used on the Beastmaster. Slash low down to half HP already. But Farda being harassed heavily by the army. The Primal Roar is going to come out. He is slow on the attack speed. The Sunstrike won't be enough to clean up the kill on Snapfire, considering it's a Quaswex Invoker.
Yeah, but that was a very big rotation at least. Sure, they did use the Chrono, and they did kill. They did get the kill on the Beastmaster, but there was a lot of heroes that had to spend a lot of time in that bottom lane. So, meanwhile, PL is just continuing to farm, and I don't even think this Void is very happy up here. He's getting kind of bullied by the PL, who has his 2 Wraith Bands, and so I think all in all, even though they didn't get the kill there, I think you can still be kind of happy as Empire.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, he's getting all the space in the world. Because look at where the pressure's come from mudgolems. They've rotated basically the whole team towards the mid lane now, and they don't get anything out of it.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden, I think Empire in a much better spot right now, because what's happening now is that the Beastmaster is sitting bottom, farming this lane. Peel is sitting top, even taking out the tower now. And so they're applying pressure in multiple lanes, and meanwhile there's just this kind of stalemate in mid. Where...
Well, it's less of a stalemate, more of a kill zone now. Milan is going to be brought low. They'll be able to get the kill on the Shadow Demon first before giving up a life. And Lightless. Enemy played him here. Not well enough, though. They don't have detection to bring Lightless down in the end.
Well, that's the thing, though. Even though it's, even though there's some kills being traded, basically nothing is happening in this mid lane, right?
Yeah.
It's like they're just changing gold, right? It's one support for another support. It doesn't really matter. Sure, it's a 4 for a 5, but it's whatever. Um,
It's no
it's
man's
just
land right now.
the fact that mud golems are not kind of pressuring these side lanes is what's so beneficial for Empire. The fact that the 1 and 3 get to sit in their lanes and just kind of farm is something that definitely favors Empire here, as they need a lot more time for their lineup to come online. And we can also see here, I like this decision from the PO. He's deciding to just rush this diffusal after his raid ban. So
It's pretty bulky ball at this point. And also, I don't feel like Branya, like, he chose to TP the bot, right? So these rotations so far, yeah, he's 2-1-0, but especially when you go for boost travel like this, you're maybe expecting a little bit more impact, leading to a little bit more tower pressure this early on in the game.
yeah, and he's also queued up the first item Lincolns here.
Interesting.
Quite uncommon. He's gonna tank an EMP to the face and lose most of his mana. Probably just walk back to base.
Yeah, this has been the thing that Lightless has handled very well, as he ensures that there's practically no mana ever in the pool for Lina. So immediately, every time we just see him come out, he's running back to base to refill. There's no real gank opportunity.
Yeah, one thing is I really would like for someone to occupy this top lane for Empire. I think there should be someone sitting in this lane and kind of just pushing it out to... I feel like they're not utilizing this area right now.
Yeah, they've let it become
There's
Skier's
gonna be a
playground.
rotation down.
33.
33.
Sashra can't get in, though. It's not the right target. You can actually just try and deal with the birds. Of course, the birds die fast because they've thrown out the Purge on the Visage. And with the Primal Roar and the Scatter Blast through, the Purge is able to bring him down.
Yeah, Fatal supported there. So yeah, now Empire, they're very happy with what's happening right now. Shaklo is gonna finish his book 3 very soon.
Mid, though.
Phantom Lancer is gonna have Fusel in a moment.
I don't think he can get this kill. Laguna to bring him low. The Magnetize might tick him just below the threshold, but this Quas is regenning him up well. No Spirit in trouble now. Milan thrown under the tie. He tries to renew the Magnetize. Can't do so. Light Strike Array is on the mark. They do find a kill on Shatchlo in the bot lane, courtesy of Fada in the end, who is now going to give his life over. But considering that was a Snapfire, there alone, to get the Beastmaster kill is impressive.
Yeah, I think he just kind of threw out the kisses there, and Beastmaster just... Yeah, he has
Received
them, so he's not that fast. Yeah, he pretty much.
Like, oh, thank you. Kisses are nice. Wait, why do these kisses burn so much?
They are at least gonna get this mid tower here, so something at least for mud golems. But this should be a completed diffusal, and almost another 1,000 gold for this Phantom Lancer already. So he's looking very happy right now. He's top net worth by quite a bit. And we also see now that the Beastmaster has kind of, despite this, the laning phase didn't go amazingly for him. He has completely recovered here, and it's gonna be a book 3 on him. And yes, so far Empire they're doing quite well.
And it should be highlighted, this is very scary for mud golems, right? Like, usually when you see someone like the diffuser rush, like, okay, confident plays we make. Speaking of confident plays, Primal Roar straight under Skidder is not gonna pay off. That's maybe a little bit of miscommunication, or maybe just overrated how powerful he was against the Faceless Void there. They might try and turn around. Meanwhile, Shadow Demon does die in the mid lane after using his Purge. Line is pretty deep. Will be found, spinning in the air, burn of all his mana, the Stolen Laguna to bring him low, and the Cookie cannot get him away.
Had the Cookie there, almost helped him out, but not enough in the end. Yeah, I'm not sure what the role was about. It was kind of ambitious, I guess you could call it.
Well, that pent-up fury from the laning phase, you know?
I really wish Smiling Knight would join the game, though. He is actually queuing up a hood in this one. So it does feel like it's important to be able to kind of have some medic resistance. But I really think he has to join this game and start making something happen.
Because that was the thing I wanted to highlight, right? Is that usually the diffusal you can understand when you're a little bit paranoid because, oh, wow, they have a lot of burst damage. But this is a game where you have a Shadow Demon. You do have a pretty solid save to kind of interrupt that flow of damage that Mud Golems can just funnel your way.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's more like I expected them not to be doing actually this well in the early game. I thought they would be struggling a bit more, and I feel like the fact that he did get to this diffusal so early, kind of uncontested, I feel like you can just... I don't know, I think you could keep playing this just a bit more greedy in terms of item progression. You know, you don't have to stop maybe for this hood. There's gonna be a Roche attempt here.
Greedy and maybe
mudgolems.
ambitious, but they do it pretty fast with that DD running on Lena, trying to bring it down. You can see the rotation coming in. Milan's ready to break that smoke as they reach the river. Go straight in. Silence. Kiss is coming through on a lightless. In a little bit of trouble. Laguna to get him low enough. He's zapped off the map. Eknar forcing the disruption to try and run away, but they are hot in pursuit. Milan is keeping that magnetize going. He does have a roll through with a remnant to play with. And he'll commit it straight into the face of the Shadow Demon. With the renewed magnetize, they have the follow-up damage to bring him down.
Yeah, and kind of strange there. Shaklo just sent in his books and fed them away immediately. And after that, they kind of just had to run. You know, those books right now are a lot of why they're strong at fighting. And also Phantom Lancer didn't really find a way to join this engagement. These 5v5s right now are not really favoring Empire right now. I think they need to look to split up the map a bit more and kind of take these smaller skirmishes. And that's why fighting around Roche is not ideal for them.
Do you think maybe they're scared of the chrono threat, right? Like at the stage, they have to respect it. Even though the disruption that can mess with it a little, it's still a chrono with a lot of damage that can be thrown into the big bubble.
Yeah, they're definitely a bit scared of both the chrono and, you know, the kisses and everything. All the just team fighting capabilities of mudgolems here. I really don't like this Roche decision here. I think this is quite sketchy.
But if he did just lose one of those birds, though, the cold snap will ensure the second one goes down.
Yeah, there's gonna be a resummon though, and there is a chrono from the void here.
They haven't got the kisses for 20. If they can delay this by that long, they'll be very happy. They do bring one of the necro books down
again. If they do get the birds now, though, then it's a very different thing, because that could definitely change something.
Thinking about Triumph. The problem is on the side, Prime Roar has to come out, and in Milan, they do lock him on the spot with the Orchid as well. A quick burst down, but look at this. Cookie's in. They get both the supports. Empire in trouble. Chrono goes down, does connect onto the Evoker as well. Lightness gets caught to the side, and the Kisses are following through to try and bring him down. He does get invis. Smiling Knight trying to fight up because that Hood of Defiance makes him tanky. With the buybacks coming out, they're trying to repel the forces of Mudgolems. Rania quick enough to move away. The Silence does come out and avoid it. He's in trouble. Cookie to get him away, though. No mana to work with, so that was important because he wouldn't be able to time walk off. Smiling Knight does go back into the pit. They need mana quick. 33. Still gets birds to play with the LSA as well to slow this down. This is not easy, but Smiling Knight knows they need to get this after that double buyback.
Yeah, some very clutch play there by 33 with the birds, kind of just delaying all of Empire's chasing there, you know, with the buybacks coming out. And I also think Smiling Knight just not really fighting the right targets here.
Pudge coming through on the side. Milan will roll away, disrupts their formation, so now they're a little bit split. The Media's going to come through. But Varanya chases forward on the save. He uses the lift to try and defend himself. The slow is going to go out to Fada with the counter play, bringing him low. Smiling Knight's able to get the kill. The Laguna will shotgun down. That's the dieback on the Rubik. But Smiling Knight, with that alacrity, looks to chase on the Piranha, who's a little bit too fast. Has the LSA to work with. But doesn't want to use it just yet. And reinforcements aren't coming to help him, so he's on his own. Meanwhile, the pings come out in the mid lane. Roll in on the Slash low. Time walk forward with the Mask of Madness. They'll be able to get some payback on the Beastmaster. Or not. Oh no.
He did manage to slow them down. Very nice juke there by Shaklo. And maybe are we finally gonna get to see them try to finish this? I don't know.
I don't think you can. This is...
Yeah, I just don't know if they have enough damage.
This is possibly one of the most awkward Roches we've seen in a long while. Because both teams just reluctant.
A very long time. Yeah, now the awkward thing is that now the Roche is kind of low. Also 33, getting very close to this Aghanims, and it's gonna be another bird.
Also, they've almost got the chrono again. It's available in 40 seconds. Battle Fury now on Skidder, so it's not like you have this window whereas Empire you can go, oh well, they use their big ultimates, we can now make a play. Like your play was very awkwardly split, right, between top and bottom, and now you're in a situation where this smoke, if they do find that pick off, they'll have the key to the pit if they want to go in again. But you can already see 33 is not stupid. He knows what's coming. He backs away.
Yeah, they are kind of dragging the game a little bit, so in that sense... Oh, they're gonna find one of the birds.
Disruption. Roll in. Silence up the Invoker. No follow-up. Fodder jumps into the Cookie, and the Chrono goes down to 3 PL. He ran into it. The Phantom rush forward might cost him his life. Lightless is already down. Smiling Knight, look at a fight, will wand up and look to turn around, but he gets netted on the spot. The LSA follow-up is good. The buyback from the Invoker to try and arrive, but it's going to be too late. The Kisses will bring down the carry of Empire, and they're not done there. Seiyu trying to run for the high hills, but they will pursue forward for bigger targets. They see Eknar, the birds are going to stun him up because the Axe is online for 33. And all of a sudden, Mudgolems have just been handed the keys to the Roche pit with this kill on the Shadow Demon as the last one.
Yeah, and I feel like Smiling Knight he's kind of throwing this game, like despite having this early a lot of farm, I think he's way too tunnel vision on his targets there. I think he had like a completely free kill on the Earthbird setup, and he just runs into the Chrono to try to hit the Void, I think he was going for, because the Void had used Mask of Madness. I'm not sure entirely what his thought process was, but I think in both these engagements, he's kind of just tunnel visioning his targets and not seeing the easy kills that are in front of him, or just kind of the easy damage that he can output at least. And I think it's hurting them quite a lot in these fights.
Most definitely, you know, like, well, at the start of the game, he may have well been smiling, but I think he's frowning a little bit at this point because he's been surpassed on the net worth chart. Piranha's now taking the lead. Not even the Faceless Void who built Battle Fury. It's the Lino's popping off here.
Yeah, and we see here, he did finish this Lincoln Sphere, and now he's queuing up this Shiva's Guard, and that's going to make it so that Smiling Knight's job is so much more difficult. It's not just the nukes from the Lina and kind of just the random damage from Snapfire, Earth Spirit. It's also going to be the Shiva's Guard as long as attack speed down, and also just killing more illusions.
Also, 33 going towards the AC as well, so they're entirely ready to start bulking up here. You can already see that for Skidder, it's just about getting his hands on that Manta to have the Dispel. Also is going to bulk him. And then you get a little bit concerned, right? You look at Empire's lineup. Yes, we already kind of confessed they knew this as well going into this. This was going to be a full protect one, a full support that one PL in the late game. But you didn't expect Mudgolems to be this far ahead at this stage for that to be your like game plan.
No, and also in these fights, a lot of the time what's happening is to this Phantom Lancer, it's not the fact that this damage is coming out to him. The fact what's hurting him is actually this time dilation. And you'd think it wouldn't be an issue, right? Because Phantom Lancer has Doppelganger to kind of remove it, but after he's used this and he gets the time dilation, then he's struggling in these fights. You know, he can't jump around and he can't do much. And I think this is also because of the fact that he did go for this hood to kind of stop in between the Manta style. Otherwise, he would have had it for quite a while now, the Manta style, and then he would be able to do so much more in some of these fights.
That's true. Double Dispel is really crucial here, right? Because you got the silence that comes out from Earth Spirit. They can kind of set up into these LSAs pretty easily. The cookie, like there's so much CC from Mudgolems, and most of it is AoE, which is the most painful part about it all. It's not like you can say, oh, well, they have to choose the right PL. Like in this game, you know how some games you have illusion heroes, you're like, how do you find the real illusion? I look at Mudgolem's draft, and I don't think that's ever a concern in their mind.
No, they just throw out their spells, right? That's why I said that this draft is kind of deceivingly strong versus illusions. They kind of just need to throw out their spells, and
Oh, poor Seiyu.
yeah, they're gonna hit something.
They're definitely hitting something right now, and they forced the Shadow Demon here, so you need to actually be careful if you choose to try and go on a Piranha here in the top lane. He does have that Aegis. You could bait yourself. A little bit split here. I don't think you could even make this trade as Empire. Like, you can try and chip, but you know if you show, you're probably going to get jumped, because 33 could take the tower on his own in the spot lane.
Yeah, we also see just, if you look at the difference here in net worth between these two mid laners, you can see just how far ahead the Lina is of this Invoker.
It's getting pretty grim at the stage. Like, we knew this was going to be a support type Invoker, but you know, that's kind of something you naturally fall into. He's just kind of been forced into that role. Like, his presence in this game is not really being felt right now. Roll through. Milan does see the real one. Movement forward. Roll does connect, and they need the follow-up stance. LSA dodged out beautifully by Smiling Knight. They forced the Kisses as well, so if they get out of this with nothing lost, you'll feel good. However, Eknar does get found by the Lina.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as nothing lost. So far, at least.
Eknar ensuring his impact is minimal, so his loss is not felt by the team, as that would clearly demoralize them. And Smiling Knight, dude, Milan is like crazy. He's just looking everywhere. Where is he?
He's looking. He's angry, Milan.
He's got the Jaws theme tune on right now. Let's get it once again, just munching up these.
He's like the chief Uruk-hai in Lord of the Rings, where he's just like, you know, find the halfling.
Wait, does that mean that in that situation, doesn't that mean that Shadow Demon was Boromir?
I guess it kind of does.
Wow.
He
Eggnog, dude.
sacrificed himself. I mean,
Sean
can you
goddamn
really
Bean and
give him
Dota.
that high of a?
I mean, that's the
I,
problem
I
right now. This is
I
your
don't know if
your
you can
weird
give him that high
choice.
of an honor.
But he did in that last engagement. He was like, it was probably the most pointless version. Which, to be honest, when you look back at Lord of the Rings, Boromir probably could have escaped as well.
I mean, if he just ran, or
I'm trying to remember like the exact, because obviously he got hit by the arrow, but that wasn't straight away,
yeah,
right?
no, he's getting hit by the. I mean, he's fighting a bunch of orcs. Speaking of fighting, there's some
Fighting going on. All right,
fighting by Boromir.
here's how he fixes it. Just don't try and take the ring, idiot. I
That
don't know
that
how.
that that would definitely make it easier.
I
Yes.
don't know how that relates to Eknar in this
Smiling
situation.
Knight might be in a lot of trouble here.
A lot or a lot, because I don't think a lot really kind of summarizes this game right now. Because like, what's your counterplay right now? Lightless is farming. They're coming towards your base, and you've got no PL for 45. I think you might lose some towers here.
Yeah, you might lose more than just some towers. There is also a Chronosphere still up for the Faceless Void.
And kisses again as well. By the way, I just love Fada's build. It's really enabling this game. The drums, that early aggression, then also just having the Vlads is so value for this team.
The
Also,
Vlads
it-
on Pada, yeah.
that's the ridiculous part, right? Like, usually you'd be like, oh, yeah, Visage needs that type of item, but it's freed him up to go for this more greedy Ags AC situation instead of having to worry about utility for the team.
No, they definitely have a lot of nice items here, like just the drums. They have Shiva, they have lads that are queuing up the AC, so they're ready to fight.
We'll try and force one now. Milan gets in position. The ward is down. Jaws theme tune is starting to play in our heads right now. Who will get sharked, though? Lightless. He got seen. He's going to roll out. They weren't in good position to try and make a fight happen there. And it looks like Shashlo was trying to wrap around on the side as well with his Blink Dagger.
Yeah, the question is, you know, for Empire here is like, how do you fight? Because I feel like the Shadow Demon, he offers so little right now, in terms of kind of everything. I mean, yes, he can save one guy, but he's not really dealing any damage, and you have a lot of damage issues right now. As Empire, they need to be able to find this Faceless Void and kill him before he gets to use his Chrono, and that is no difficult task.
Well, they're looking for it. They're wrapping more heroes around right now. They need to pop that Lincolns again and maybe go for the play, but Ranyo's moving away quick enough. Roll in, Milan sets up the Chrono. One of the Invokers, BKB's activated, but this won't be enough to keep him alive. Well, maybe the lift will. Good save from Rubik. In the meantime, Beastmaster does go down as he had to commit in. He didn't even get a chance to use the Primal Roar, though, and Smiler Knight way too deep. Laguna gets dodged out. Able to move away. Actually, no, that wasn't Laguna. They're holding on to it right now. They're ready to follow up. They'll get on top of him. The kisses to bring him low. They know which one is real. They'll tap him up and bring him down. There it is. They get the kill. They ain't done. They say more base. We're going to tax you at least 2 lanes for this. They might just try and end the game. They jump in. They find the kill on the Lightless. GG gets called. And although this one did last over double the amount of time of game 1, it ends the same way with a Mudgolems victory.
Yeah, almost a triple.
Oh,
They almost
they
they
were close, because remember, it's 10:55. I mean, that's an improvement from Empire.
Yeah, the fight there at the end, kind of Shaklo just jumping in, and at the same time Skitter jumped and used the Chrono on the Invoker, so Shaklo didn't really have a target anymore. He didn't feel like roaring the Void inside the Chrono, which might have been a good choice. I'm not sure, and he kind of just goes down. He didn't really find the right target there. And yeah, I think that, I don't know. I would have liked to see the PL get active a little bit earlier. Like, preferred just the Diffusal Manta Rush build, and also just, I think in these fights, I think he was just way too horny for certain targets. I think he needed to kind of open his eyes a little bit more and just kind of look at how the fight is playing out, rather than just having this. I don't know if it's a preset idea of a target or something, but it's just the way these fights were kind of getting played out. I think he had a lot of good targets. He just maybe didn't notice.
You think it's maybe that kind of pressure element, right? Like, where, I mean, some people don't like hear that. Like, these are professional players, they should know better. But you have those games where, in this game going in, at the end of the game, you have to carry. Everything is on you. You have to deliver,
Yeah,
right?
no,
But
for sure.
at that early point, Do you think maybe the pressure got to him and that he feels like he has to do everything in these fights already, even though that shouldn't be the case for at least another 10 to 15 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, and it's also they're against a better team, and he feels like, yeah, I have to do everything. Like I need to carry the aside from the first 10 minutes of the game or 15 or whatever it was before he got his defusal. After that, it's pretty much on him to do a lot in this game. I mean, of course, there's still the Beastmaster and everything, and a lot of these other heroes can contribute, but a lot of the game is on the Phantom Knight's shoulders. And yeah, maybe pressure. I'm not sure what it was, but definitely not really correct play there.
That was
But at least it
definitely
was better than game one.
most definitely like that. I'd say that's the way to look at things. That's the positive attitude. But the problem, I guess, I've got here is I believe this was Empire's final game, and
Oh.
that places them pretty low. Obviously, they're not going to be out straight away as there's a lower bracket. And right now, I think, yeah, Bait have secured that spot.
Yeah, I think Bait I did see Bait win one game the other day. So,
They did. Who was it? It was against Empire. It was a 1-1 draw.
mm,
So I think theoretically with this, I'll have to double check the scores, but maybe Bait have a chance to still like stay in this. Actually,
mhm.
no, I'm lying. I'm lying. They don't.
Yeah, okay.
I think maybe if they win, I'd have to double check it because I think it'd be a point breaker
Mhm.
situation. And obviously, Empire versus Bait was a draw. So I think it comes down to the other games, in which case Bait was already eliminated. Empire are looking like they're going to get a last spot, but it's not a great consolation prize to look at right now. It's like you're at
Mhm.
this stage, you realize that there's no feasible way anyone else could score worse than you. Um, but we'll move on for those negative thoughts. So
Yeah.
Mudgolems definitely looking pretty spicy though. That moves them up the listings. Obviously, Vikings are the boys to beat the top spot, and we'll get to see Viking next actually against one of the scarier teams, one of the more 50-50 matchups. I don't know if I want to say exactly 50-50 because Viking are looking pretty hot, but we have got Ninjas in Pajamas versus Viking GG next. And we'll get into
All right.
that in just a few minutes.